How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back to get another review. A little bit of Hop Butcher time. Hopefully, Hop Good time. In the form of their Watch for Falling Coconuts. Yellow can. Kooky name. We'll see what's what. Hop Butcher. Love these guys. Ended up getting a beer from these guys. I don't know if it was one or two beers. I think it was two from a viewer out Midwest. Beers in the Burbs, actually, on Instagram. Go check them out. There's a lot of Z's involved, so you'll find them. Anyway, he sent me off some of their stuff, and then from there I actually ended up connecting with the brewery. They've been gracious enough to actually send me a bunch of stuff, which is pretty fucking awesome. And I've dug a lot of it. Some of it hasn't been my speed, but most of it has been quite good. Some absolutely stellar, but at the same time, a lot of the stuff is very creative and inventive, which is pretty much what turns me on when it comes to the beer world. And this one is kind of like right in my wheelhouse, hopefully, because it's all about being creative and inventive, because it is an El Dorado, okay, and cashmere hopped. Now, I assume that's a new hop, because I don't think they're dry hopping it with like a sweater or wool or anything like that. And it's an American Pale Ale brewed with coconut, and we gotta love that coconut, baby. You got those sweet coconut vibes up in those IPAs. It just makes it absolutely delicious. Coconut and IPA, not something you see a ton of, but it can work if it's done right. And if anybody's going to pull it off, it'll be these guys. So hopefully it is. As far as what it says on here, like I said, Watch for Falling Coconuts. It's an El Dorado and a cashmere hopped American Pale Ale brewed with coconut, 5.5% alcohol by volume. On the back here, they actually say it has coconut, or tasting notes, I should say. Coconut, Hawaiian pineapple, and tropical fruit. That is not bad things, baby. So yeah, Dusty Rhodes haven't made an appearance on a Massive Beer Review for a while. 5.5%, ridiculously yellow can, and that super sketchy, awesome art design that Dan over there does for them. So yeah, give it a whirl. I actually interviewed these guys for my podcast. If you guys are into podcasts and stuff, go check that out. BeerMassive.com. You can go there, favorite podcasting app. I interviewed both Jeremiah and Jude from Hop Butcher. It was a good time, actually. Not a big head on there. Now, here's the thing. Coconut does that. Coconut IPA, I believe there was a Other Half one. I forget who they collabed with that. It was with coconut, but there's been some coconut IPAs I have had, and it's almost exclusively because of that coconut oil dropped the head out completely. So I'm not surprised by that. There's a soft kind of carbonation in there, and that, my friends, is not a hazy beer. Slightly, ever so slightly kind of hazy, but not hazy in the kind of new school sense. It just looks like apple juice, man. Straight up apple juice. So yeah, let's see if we can get a nose on this sucker. I don't know why I'm getting apple juice vibes from the actual nose. That's kind of weird. A soft bittering hop. It's not necessarily a danky. It's not necessarily piney or resiny. It's kind of like just kind of a middle of the road, soft kind of bitterness. You're getting the ever so slightest bit of soft, sweet, not luscious kind of coconut. It's more just kind of like a coconut extract, but it's very minimal. There's no kind of toastedness in there or anything like that. There's a sweetness going on, but there's really not much in the nose. It smells nice. It smells sweet. It doesn't smell overly kind of crazy in either direction. But, yeah. On the nose, not a big shower. Let's see if she proves in the taste. Cheers. Okay. Coconut comes through much bigger in the taste. Not huge, but at the same time, it comes through, and it comes through as genuine, and comes through a bit toasted. You are getting a bit more bitterness in there. Again, kind of flirting that nondescript line. Now, the fruited portion of the show, which really doesn't show up in the nose at all, comes off tropical fruity. As they said on there, tropical fruity. In a way that, with the coconut and a little bit of soft kind of bitter in there, it just reminds me of kind of a pina colada. Again, coconut and tropical fruit, it just kind of makes sense in my brain. But it's cool. I like it. It's let's put it this way. It's not a fantastic beer. It's not blowing me away. It's very soft. It's very subtle. It's very nuanced. But those flavors in there are unique. And again, that's kind of the MO of what Hop Butcher does, is their hop combinations, the way they kind of mess with and kind of tweak the bits and pieces of the beers that they mess with. I dig it. I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting, but it's not something that's going to blow you away. It's more of kind of like remember back in the day when you were in the bands and you just like that one really kooky, weird experimental band that just did weird shit, and you're not sure why you really like them, but you kind of like them, but you just like the fact that they're just weird and kooky? That's this beer. That's a Hop Butcher a little bit. They make killer, straightforward IPA stouts, the whole nine. So I'm not saying that's their kind of MO across the board, but that's what this beer is. It's like, it's fun, it's quirky, it's interesting in a way that it's kind of like throwing a bunch of shit against the wall to see if it sticks. Does it land? Does it stick? I don't think all that long, but it sticks enough to kind of pique my interest. That in and of itself is a good thing. So yeah, let's talk about it. Is it one of the better IPAs I've had as of late? No. It's interesting, fun, in a way that, again, like I said, kind of experimental stuff is interesting and fun. Value and availability, no idea. They were lucky, I'm lucky enough for them to kind of think enough of me to send me some of this stuff and leave you with, if you like, what will you like this beer? If you like interesting, unique takes on beer, especially the kind of hop portion of the show, because that's what you get in here. You get a fun, interesting, just kind of riff on something that not a lot of people do. The coconut and the IPA thing isn't a huge thing, so they do it in an interesting, fun way, albeit not some earth-changing, new school kind of craziness. So if you like that kind of stuff in beer, it's worth picking up. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there, if you want to talk about it, Massive Beers, type that into Google. See me doing the Beer Massive stuff too. Type that into Google. The Massive Beers is the social media stuff. Beer Massive is the podcasting stuff. Put them both together and you just get a whole lot of Beer Massive stuff. Words. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little coconut IPA right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.